Hey guys, welcome back to the 411 on Tech. Today we're reviewing the Vizio Elevate Sound Bar, and we're going to get into it right after this.
Okay guys, so what we have here is Vizio's Elevate Sound Bar. It's $9.99, that's a little pricey, but you get a lot of value here as far as like sound quality and features.
Yeah, and you can, we actually got it on sale too, $6.99, and that was like a week I think after it came out.
Yeah.
So be looking out for
sales. Yeah, so as you can see, it's a large sound bar, so it'll fit nicely under like 65, 75-inch televisions. It's 12 pounds, it's an oval shape. The build quality is, there's a lot of plastic, but the grill is aluminum, so that's nice. You know, and it's nicely textured plastic. I think it looks really nice. There is an indent at the bottom of it to accommodate Vizio's OLED televisions, because this is made to be a companion soundbar for those. So, you know, if you have Vizio OLED, this will like integrate seamlessly with that.
Yeah, but obviously you can use it for whatever TV that you have or whatever setup that you have as well. And I like the design as well. I like that it's not like the boxy kind of like the usual kind of like sound bar that you get. Yes, you know, it is plastic for the most part, but it's really good quality. It even has like a nice little texture on the plastic. And again, this is the grill is aluminum, which is really nice. Alright, now the real standout feature here that makes this really unique and innovative is the rotating speakers for the Dolby Atmos and DTS-X. And these are on either side, right here. And it's a pretty cool feature. At first it seems kind of gimmicky, you would think, but it actually works really well and does help a lot with having better Atmos sound. And it's just a cool feature to see it rotate. I like it. It's very, very unique.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, when it activates, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like sci-fi. I don't know, just does something for me.
Yeah, it's definitely futuristic, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Now, this thing has 18 drivers, which is a good amount. And 13 are in the soundbar alone. Then you have 2 in each surround, which brings that to 17, and an additional driver, obviously, in the sub, which is an 8-inch woofer in the sub. Now, the sub is pretty big too, which is really nice. Generally, you don't get as big of a sub with most sound bars.
Right.
So you're going to get a lot of surround, a lot of boom, especially if you like a lot of action movies and things like that. So you have the sound bar, and again, you have the 2 satellite rear speakers for surround. They connect to the sub with a 30-foot cable. Now, because they connect to the sub, you're going to need to put the sub in the back of the room, so you know you have the 2 surround speakers in the back. And 30 foot is a good amount of, you know, if you have a bigger space or wider space or whatever, you might have a little bit of trouble, but you can always get
your own RC.
Yeah. So they're not proprietary or anything like that. Yeah. So that's really nice.
Yeah, you can get your own RCA cables for that. Yeah. Okay, for inputs, you have an optical, you have 2 3.5mm audio jacks. One can accommodate like a smart speaker, like, you know, an Echo Dot or Google Home or something like that, so you can have smart speaker integration with that one. It's labeled. And the other one, you can connect analog stereo RCA outputs to a TV. There's a USB port, so you can you know, put some music on that and play that music off the USB port on the sound bar system.
Yeah. Also, if there's any updates for the speaker too, you can use a USB port for that.
Yeah. Now there's 3 HDMI ports. One is eARC, so you can connect that to the television and get you know, upstream and downstream sound via that. And there's 2 others that you can directly connect devices to. So you're going to lose one of your TV connecting this via eARC, but then you have 2 on the soundbar that you can get other devices hooked into, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, and they do pass through Dolby Vision HDR at 60 Hz, so that's really nice. Obviously, if you have the new consoles and you want to do 120, you're not going to get that through the speaker at 120 Hz, but you will get that 4K Dolby Vision.
Yeah, and also Dolby Atmos, as long as you have like a newer TV, I believe it's like 2018 or newer, that should pass down the Dolby Atmos from the TV to the soundbar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this will have you guys ready to go if you have like a newer TV paired with this.
Now, setup is pretty simple and the speakers come already paired, so all you need to do is hook up your cables, and the soundbar comes with all the cables that you need, so there's no need to buy any additional cables unless you need longer cables, you know, for the rear speakers going into the soundbar. Now, another nice feature about this is it has an LED indicator lights, which will show you the status of whatever input you're in. And there's also voice that lets you know what input you're in as well. Yeah. So that's really a nice feature. And the remote. Now, we have a Vizio sound bar in our bedroom. And let me tell you, the remote is not great. It has a display, but you can never see the display. Yeah. So that was always a big gripe for us with that. This remote is much nicer. It has a display that you can actually see this time. Yeah.
Now this soundbar features 5.1.4 sound. So you have, you know, your front left, front right, your center, you got your rear right, left right, and then you have your sub, and then you have Atmos in the front that, you know, via the rotating it'll bounce off and give you the Atmos effect, or DTSX, and you have in the rear satellite speakers you have also speakers on top that'll bounce off the ceiling down to get that. So that's how you're getting your 5.1.4. It supports Dolby Atmos, Dolby DTSX, DTS Virtual X, Dolby Digital Plus, and Dolby True HD.
So a number of formats.
Yeah, so it got you covered for a lot of sound fields. Now you get Wi-Fi with this and Bluetooth, so you know you can connect the app and everything to this, and you can do updates. It has Bluetooth, so if you want to Bluetooth stream to this, you can do that. It also has a built-in Chromecast, so you can, you know, cast Spotify to it. It supports Google Assistant, Siri, and Amazon Alexa. Smart speakers connected via 3.5 millimeter or Bluetooth, and you can also stream music to it from Spotify via Spotify Connect. Now what I really like, the remote is definitely a vast improvement over our older soundbar, Vizio soundbar that we have in the bedroom, where I'm shining a light on display and I can't see the LCD screen. But the Vizio SmartCast app, I like that a lot better. It's just, it's on the phone, it's like easy to get in, you can see what sound you know, field is playing, you can adjust the levels and everything like that, which you could do on the remote, but having that graphical display on the app, I really like that.
Yeah, and a lot of times you misplace your remote, but you never replace your smartphone.
Yeah, your phone's like a body part.
Now, let's talk about sound quality, which is the main deciding factor when we're talking about sound bars. First off, Vizio says that this is distortion-free sound. Now, I actually tried this out, both of us, and you know, we turned it up as high as it could go, and we didn't experience any distortion. The center channel dialogue was still very clear and crisp, and there's no feedback or anything like that, any other kind of distortion.
Yeah, no cutting out. Yeah.
Right, so it did sound really good at very high volumes.
Now, if you don't want to like fool around with the settings yourself, adjusting you know, the settings manually for like the speaker, the sub, and the surround and all that, it does come with preset EQ settings for different media sources such as gaming, movies, and music. But you can also, you know, if those aren't to your liking, you can also manually adjust the settings for, you know, for the sources you have coming in. You can like tweak it, you know, might want to turn the sub up more, you might want to turn up the surround effect, or you might want the dialogue to be higher if you think it's like coming in too muddy or something like that. So you can also do that. There's a lot of control. You can you know, you can change the levels of you know, the different channels and things like that. So a lot of features, and like I said, in the app it'll tell you like if you're getting like the correct sound source coming in, whether it be like Dolby Atmos, DTSX, True Digital. You can see that on the app, so that's really nice.
Yeah, and I did find that the preset EQs were pretty good. I did find myself adjusting the surround and also upping the height for the Atmos.
Yeah.
In our environment, you know, we're in a basement. This is in the basement, and we have the tiled ceiling. So, you know, you're not going to get the best Atmos in that kind of setup. So, increasing or cranking up the height speakers did help a lot. Yeah. And the Atmos did sound really good compared to other sound bars. We don't have any other sound bars that are Atmos, but from what I hear, generally, you know, it's not always obvious. But this was really good. I could definitely tell, like in the Avengers Endgame, like during the ending action scene, I definitely could hear like things flying over my head. It definitely sounded like it came above me. So you really do, the Atmos is not just a gimmick thing. It actually really works with the speaker.
Yeah.
So for movies, it definitely was amazing. It almost, obviously it's not as good as like a dedicated home theater system, but it's the best sound bar that we've heard or have actually owned. And I mean, it sounded great. We like a lot of boom and bass and whatever, and you really got that. Again, with Avengers Endgame, that end scene was just amazing. Like, it sounded really, really good. Also, like playing Lost in Space and a number of other things. Everything sounded really, really good.
So for music, we tried a number of genres, including classical, like we did some hip hop, some pop, and this system is a little more bass heavy with the Vizio, but everything sounded really good. And then when you listen to music, the Atmos are facing forward, so you don't lose that sound. So you have all of those drivers in the front, like blasting music at you. It sounds really good. So it's a pleasant listening experience. You can hear like distinct sound elements in the sound. So yeah, it's really good for music. The soundbar is also really good for gaming. So playing like Spider-Man or Breath of the Wild, you can hear everything that's going on around you. It's really cool. And then Forza Horizon 4, makes use of the Dolby Atmos. So in case we didn't make it clear before, when a Dolby Atmos signal is detected, these two end speakers automatically rotate up. Same thing with DTSX. But most of the things we listen to is Dolby Atmos. These will detect the Dolby Atmos, it'll flip up, and then it'll bounce the sound off the ceiling, it'll come down to you, you'll hear all of those, Dolby Atmos overhead effects, so when it's detected. So yeah, gaming with this, I mean, you having your battles in not Forza Horizon Zero Dawn, and you're like walking through like the woods and the snow, you hear like all the like footsteps in the snow, you hear all that creaking and popping and everything, and like the fire crackling, it just really delivers, and you get a really good gaming experience. So definitely for gaming, this is definitely add to your immersion in the game with like really nice sound. So like in video games, if you're just listening off a speaker, the TV speakers, you lose a lot of stuff. But so the sound engineers that work on these games, like playing like Jedi Fallen Order, they put a lot of effort into the sound, and that really brings another level to the game. It makes the game more enjoyable. Yeah.
So overall sound quality, it sounds really, really great. I mean, it's getting very close. Again, it is not as good as a dedicated home theater system, but for a sound bar, it's exceptional.
So moving on to our final thoughts. This soundbar adds a lot to your listening experience when you're watching movies, listening to music, or playing video games. Add that cinema sound to your movies. You get the sounds overhead with the Atmos. You get like the booming explosion with that sub. And for Vizio, they've done it again. They are offering a really value product for less money. I mean, $999, $1,000 is a lot of money, but for what it's compared to, like the Samsung HW Q950T, that's $1,700, and the Sonos Arc is $800 just for the soundbar. And to get all the speakers that would add up to these 18 drivers, you'd be paying $1,700 as well. I mean, I think Vizio really knocked it out of the park. I mean, I think it looks nice. Like I said, it has like the rotating speakers to give you the Dolby Atmos, and it has a lot of features to adjust it with the remote, or you can use that app. You can dial in all your levels. It's really good. You have Bluetooth streaming. You can connect smart speaker to it. Really, really, really good.
Yeah, and again, $999. It does sound like a lot, but what you're getting, I mean, getting so close to the dedicated home theater systems, it really sounds great. Again, with movies, even with music, I was listening to some instrumental songs, and even like the separation of the different instruments and just how crisp it was really nice. A lot of times, these are good for movies and stuff, but not always that great for music. But I thought this was exceptional for movies, music, and games. And then, to what it's compared to, the Samsung and the Sonos Arc are like another $700. And this sounds better. So, you're really, yes, $1,000, but compared to the competition, it's, oh, I wouldn't say a steal, but
yeah, I mean you're really saving a lot there.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
If you have one of those nice new televisions that you have paired up with your PlayStation 5 or your Xbox Series X, I mean this is definitely a nice addition. Or like you have a nice OLED television, you really want to get like that nice sound. I mean you don't want to just rely on the TV speakers, even though some of those are getting good. It's nowhere near as good as a sound bar or like a dedicated sound system. And with this you get you get the total package. You get the 5.1.4, get the Atmos. Movies with Dolby Atmos soundtracks are becoming, I mean there's a lot of them. Yeah. Some are better than others. Some like you can barely hear the height effects, but then the ones that are done really well, like I think Kong Skull Island, it's definitely good to have that. Or like you mentioned Avengers Endgame, I mean the stuff is just amazing, and I definitely enjoy that.
Alright, so now for our ratings. Damien, what did you give it?
I gave it a 10.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Now, I did that because, it has really good sound, like excellent sound, and you get the full, like I said, 5.1.4. Like some movies are 7.1 and all that, but like 5.1.4 is going to give you like a really nice sound for like a lot of movies. You get like all the sound channels and everything. Playing games on it was awesome. I like the how you can customize it with your remote or the app, and you can connect smart speaker to it. It looks nice. I really like that rotating feature of the Dolby Atmos and DTS:X when that comes out. Is detected. I think it's really nice, and you don't have a lot of wires. Now I do like a good dedicated, but like this one, the space we have it in, I think it's just perfect for that. So I gave it a 10. Okay.
I give it a 10 as well.
Oh wow, we're back on the same track.
Yeah, we're back on the same page. It just sounds so good. I mean, we have other sound bars. This is the best that I've heard. It's close to those dedicated home systems, home theater systems.
And we have a dedicated home theater system that's like a good amount of money, and it doesn't sound as good as that, but it sounds really good.
Yeah, it really does. And then I like the the little party trick of the speakers, but it's not just a party trick. It's not just a gimmick. It actually really works, and it does make the Atmos better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then I do like that there's so many settings that you can tweak. Again, in our environment, we don't have the best environment for Atmos with the tile ceilings, but you can adjust those height speakers, and that's really nice. And that really did help, where you really started to get that Atmos effect.
That overhead stuff. Yeah, you close your eyes and you can, it's like, I know there's something over the top of my head, yeah.
Yeah, and then, again for games, and with these new next-gen consoles and more Dolby Atmos games coming out, it's a great sound bar for, gaming, again for movies, even music. It's really nice. So yeah, I gave it a 10, especially compared to the competition, where you're spending another $700 and the sound isn't even as good.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
Yeah. So those are our thoughts on the Vizio Elevate Sound Bar. So $1,000, but maybe it'll go on sale for $700. Definitely, if you're looking for like a good sound bar for your television, this is definitely one you want to be looking at. So we'll see you in the next one, guys, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and we'll see you in the next one.